Roger, Roger. Charlie, got a copy on you, sir.
Okay, I'm hearing a lot of voices all on at once in the background. Yeah, I wasn't on last week. Could not get on last week. I was downtown. Had to do a lot of things down there I just couldn't avoid. But I am here today. So you're coming in very, very well. Very, very well. There's an awful lot of short skip-ons, so your SDR probably in Pennsylvania or Rochester would work very well. Of course, I still have this damaged antenna, KC9VKV, K1GZL.
Roger, Roger, Charlie. I am monitoring the Rochester SDR. I've got me a little tablet now, and I've got about 15 SDRs cranked into it, and hopefully I can kind of jump back and forth between them, Roger.
Oh, that's great. That's the best thing you can do. Be able to just pick out the best one. You can't beat anything like that. But right now you're 9 plus, probably 20 dB. It'd be a lot louder if I had this antenna working right, but I can't do anything probably until the middle of April before I can get things going. All right, not a bad day up here. Got up to 41. The normal high is 18 degrees, and of course this is February 8th, 2019. So let me turn it back to you there, and I don't have too much on my plate today. I wonder if you had a chance to do any of the research on the hobby of amateur radio. KC9VKV, K1GZL.
Roger, Roger, Charlie. Well, I looked up and I have two things, so we can kind of do it together. I mean, as far as talking about things, so we know what we're talking about. If you could get a hold of FET and give him your, I thought I had your address, but I don't. So if you could get a hold of FET and let him email me your address, I will mail this item up to you, Roger, Roger.
Okay, I could give you that address right now, Jim.
If you could get FET, it'd probably be better. I would hate for you to get 1,000 pieces of mail or something, you know.
Yeah, okay, well, Jim's in Orlando. He's down in Orlando, Florida. He went to Puerto Rico. I think on the 2nd or 3rd of the month, and then he's going back to Puerto Rico on Sunday. He's going back to Puerto Rico. However, I am having nearly daily contact with him when he's in Puerto Rico via remote through a station in Pennsylvania. We are working him frequently, so I could get the QTH. If you wanted to call me on the phone, I could give it to you right off, Jim, when you get an opportunity. Go ahead.
Roger, Roger. Why don't I just call you Monday at the prescribed time around 12:30 or so?
Okay, that would be perfect. That would be absolutely perfect, Jim. Around 12:30. Well, let's see. Are you on Eastern or Central time? I know you're right near the line. I suspect you're on Eastern time. Is that correct?
That's a Roger. Eastern time, Roger.
Okay, Roger on that. Yeah, 12:30 would be perfect. Monday, and I'll give you the QTH. I'll give you the mailing address, and I'll have a chance to look it over. You're coming in very well. I've got a problem with this 7300. I've got a definite problem with it. It started acting up the day before yesterday in the evening after I had gotten off 75 meters. And what has happened right now, I cannot get a carrier. In other words, when I hit the LSB and then the RTTY, At that point, I normally get a carrier when I key the rig. It does not happen. It does not happen. No matter what I tried to do, I looked up the manual and I couldn't see any correction for it. However, I can get my voice peaks. But then I have a second problem. In other words, if I'm on 7189 like I am at present, and I decide to go to, say, 7150, when I key 7150, it still says 7189. So while I have the rig keyed, I have to tune the rig while I'm pressing the switch and activating it on. I have to tune that down to the frequency I'm operating. Then I can talk and modulate, but I have no carrier at all. Go ahead.
Roger, Charlie. Well, I have heard of folks that have had to do reset. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but you can reset to factory specs, Roger.
To factory specs, Roger.
Okay, well, I'm going to need somebody that has a little more experience than I have on that, Jim. Okay, look, I'll let you go, but you're coming in very, very well up here. In fact, here you are.
Monday at the prescribed time around 12:30 or so.
Oh.
Had to do resets. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but...
Yeah, okay, a beautiful copy here. There's a little heterodyning, but that's hardly anything. Okay, Jim, I'll sign with you on this one, and I'll talk to you Monday. Monday around 12:30. That would be absolutely perfect. KC9VKV, K1GZL. Thank you for all the help you've given me, too. Go ahead.
Roger, Charlie. My pleasure, sir, if I can be of service. Let me say threes up that way, and we will contact you by landline Monday around 12:30 or so, and we'll work out some of the details to everything. So good to hear you in there, threes, and we'll catch you later. Monday. This is KC9VKV, and this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog program. We run now between 3:30 and 5, Aircheck recording. And so if you have a radio that you want to check out the audio, give me a call, and we are recording, and we'll get it posted up on YouTube in the next couple of days. And then you'll be able to hear yourself, along with maybe 20 or 30 other folks during the hour and a half that we record from 3:30 till 5. And you can say, hey, I like my audio, or hey, I like his audio, or, somewhere in between, and figure out what you need to do or what to do as far as your audio is concerned. So we are recording now, so if you would be interested in hearing yourself on YouTube, give me a call. This is KC9VKV.
This is KC9VKV.
This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, and also this afternoon we'll be playing around with some SDR receivers. We've got a tablet that's loaded up with about 15 SDRs, so we can kind of jump around the country and try to find better signals than what we've been getting here. A lot of times 100 waters have a problem with a 300 or 400 mile trip coming in at just a couple of dB above my noise level, which it's really hard to tell exactly what's going on when the signal is that marginal. So hopefully we'll be able to come to SDR in your neighborhood and maybe get a better signal. Or it might be an SDR that's 700 miles away. If it's getting a better signal than I'm getting, then I'm going to try that one. So this is KC9VKV. Hey, we are at the moment monitoring Rochester, New York, and Milford, Pennsylvania.
Kilowatt 1, Delta X-ray Oscar.
Delta X-ray Oscar, come back with a call sign slowly and phonetically, please.
Please.
Kilowatt 1, Delta, X-ray, Oscar. Name is Larry, Lima, Alpha, Romeo, Yankee. I am in Gardner, Maine.
Roger, roger, sir. I got a good copy on you. I didn't write down exactly which SDR I'm monitoring on which position. I've got a 6-position rotary switch for my input select. One of those is my local radio, and the other is 2 SDR, well, a computer and a tablet, and they're both monitoring SDRs. You do have a good copy on me, sir?
Me, sir.
Yep, you are 5959 plus state of Maine. And that's good. I'll finally hear how this thing sounds.
Roger, roger. Now I can't, the SDR is a nice thing, but it's not as flat as my 990 with modifications, if you know what I mean.
Yes, Roger. I also have SDR that is very finicky when it comes to HF, but better when it does VHF, UHF.
Roger, I'm copying you on the Milford, Pennsylvania SDR at the moment.
Well, very good, sir. I appreciate it. I will let you get back to your net. Thank you. What is the website I will be checking myself out on besides YouTube? What do I look up? SDR receive?
No. Just go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, and that will take you to our Qso-Vlog page. We're running about 450 at the moment, but you'll be looking for one on page 1 or page 2 that's entitled My Group Aircheck 2819. My Group Aircheck 2819. Roger?
Roger. And I need your call sign one more time there. KC9V.
Roger. Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. Roger.
Roger. I'll be getting you on QRZ and on YouTube and all that. I'll leave you to your net. Thank you. 7-3 and God bless. K1DXO.
Roger, Larry, and we will be uploading this within the next couple of days. I do give myself a little grace period there because sometimes things do get busy, and I hate to promise something that I can't deliver. So I'll just say within the next couple of days we'll be managing to upload it to our Qso-Vlog page. 3's Larry. Good to hear you in there, sir. If you get a chance, check back with us next Friday, and we'll compare notes again. In the meantime, 3's, and have a good afternoon and evening. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor and the Qso-Vlog program. Papa Quebec, come back slowly with your call signs phonetically, please.
Please. Kilo X-ray 4, Papa, Quebec, Atlanta.
Oh, Atlanta. Well, now, I may be ready for you, sir. If I can revive my... there's one thing about it. My tablet goes to sleep. Not, well, sort of. And so I have to revive it. And there we go, Atlanta. And let's see here. Bring the volume up. And you should be there.
Your S9 here easily, and didn't make a whole lot of difference, but yeah, S9 at least, and very nice signal into south of Atlanta, about 20 miles, Peachtree City, Georgia.
Roger, I do have a better copy on the Atlanta SDR than I do on my local, or the Milford, Pennsylvania. What was the name again?
My name is Greg.
Roger, Greg. And about how far are you from Atlanta?
I'm about 22 miles south of Atlanta, at the center of Atlanta.
Oh, Roger, I'm only copying probably about 5 dB above its noise level. I'm assuming you're running 100 watts, and what kind of antenna?
Yeah, it's 100 watts into a 80-meter dipole up about 40 feet bed width, a twin lead and a tuner.
Roger, and let's see, what side of Atlanta are you on? I'm just curious about this.
That's the south side of Atlanta.
And which way does you're horizontally polarized on your antenna, Roger?
Roger? Yeah, it's mostly north-south, so up and down the East Coast.
Ah, so you got the end pointed towards Atlanta. If you were broadband to Atlanta, I'd probably have a better copy, Roger.
Hey, Roger? Yeah, probably would. It's off the end there. It's obviously not going to be as good.
Roger, and what radio are you running, sir?
Sir. Icon 7300, like most of the rest of the world these days.
Roger. Well, what do you think about that radio?
I love it. It's the greatest receiver I've ever had. I'm sure there are better ones out there, but certainly not to the price point. I mean, I got this one on sale from HRO for like less than $1,000, so I'm real happy with it.
Roger, yeah, I think, well, just from my point of view, since I can't partake on your receiver, I can partake of the 7300's transmitter, and it does have a very nice Stonewall limiter that you just turn up on that, and the signal just gets fatter with very little blow-by. It loves to stay at the mid-range, halfway mode, Roger.
Yeah, I found no matter how I adjust it, I can hear the difference, but most people think no matter what I do to it, it still sounds pretty good. I know there have been some complaints on the web that it's supposed to put out 100 watts peak, and they've got the ALC set up so that unless you really drive it hard, it doesn't actually put out that much, but it's probably a fraction of the head unit you're talking about.
Roger. Well, the ALC, even if you really push it, the ALC is going to just ride gain there, or ride limit, shall we say, and your actual RF output is not going to increase that much, but your average percent of peak modulation will increase dramatically as you continue to be, push the level and be held down by the limiter. You just get fatter, not necessarily more RF. Well, yeah, chunks of RF, but not exceeding very much over 100 watts, Roger.
Yeah, that's right. People are looking at their output on an average reading meter and then complaining that the peak power doesn't match up with it. But like you say, it's an average reading reader they're looking at, and the peak reading is going to be different. But I haven't really had any complaints about it myself. It's plain and powerful most of the stuff I'm using.
Roger that. Well, if you ever want to find an interesting radio, check out the 7610. That item has got a control called drive, and when you bring that drive up, your average percent of peak modulation just goes right on towards 90%, or maybe even more than that. You wind up, I've seen that radio generate a half a dB dynamic range. The VU meter tied to the output of a receiver 200 miles away looks like it's reading plate volts in a transmitter. It's just kind of squiggling there, just barely between zero level and half a dB. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I think a lot of guys are willing to trade off a good signal report for audio quality. I don't know. I would think that much compression does not sound that great.
Well, the amazing part about it is, I mean, you wouldn't want to run half a dB dynamic range, for long, but the unusual part is that the audio is still unbelievably not distorted. Even at that much fattening, it's still not that distorted. Not what you think it would be, Roger.
I guess if it works, guys are happy with it. What the heck? I've heard some awful sounding signals though lately. It seems on 80 meters.
Oh, Roger that. All righty. Could I have your name again, please, sir? Roger, Greg. Well, let me say three to you, sir. Thanks for dropping by, and we will be posting this within the next couple of days. So if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, that'll take you to the Qso-Vlog page. And on that page, look for a segment called My Group Aircheck 2819. My Group Aircheck 2819. Roger?
Roger. All right, 2819 sounds good. I'll look for that in a few days. Good talking to you. KF4PQ. Have a good day.
Roger, Roger there. Greg, you too, the threes. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, and this is the afternoon Qso-Vlog program for Friday. We run between 3:30 and 5 Eastern, recording, air checking, and if you have a radio that you want to check out, give me a shout. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor.
Victor. Kilo 2 Lima Charlie.
Kilo 2 Lima Charlie. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Jim. It's Linwood. We chatted this morning. Lima, India, Whiskey, Oscar Delta. Linwood, Kilo 2 Lima Charlie. Just thought I would check in this afternoon, Jim.
Roger, Roger. Now, where were you? What's your location?
I'm in Lynchburg, Virginia. Lynchburg, the central portion of Virginia. You were trying your flight this morning.
Roger, I was just receiving you on the Atlanta SDR. Let me do a little number here and see if I can go to Virginia. I have one. I'm not real sure. Well, I've got, let's see here. Find out exactly. There it was. Let me see how we'll see how close you are to this SDR. Waiting for it to come up. Yeah. Usually they come up fairly quickly, but this one is not coming up for some reason. It's circling around like it's going to come up, but nothing going on there. Let me try one more time. See what's going on here. I knew it would be like this. I should have three computers, so I can have one or two. Well, I've got one here now. Come back and let me hear you, sir.
Sure.
Okay, Jim. It's Kilo 2 Lima Charlie. This is Linwood, India November, Whiskey, Oscar Delta. Linwood. I'm in Lynchburg, Virginia. Is an ICOM 7410. By the way, the gentleman in Atlanta, Peachtree City, is still listening. You had a great signal up here at 100 watts. You were slightly over 5x9. I guess I'm one of the few people left in the ICOM world that's running something other than a 7300. This is right now I'm barefoot into an 80-meter Wyndham antenna. It runs diagonally across my house in an east-west direction. KC9VKV, K2 LLC.
Roger. Well, sounds beautiful. I'm copying you on the Milford, Pennsylvania SDR. Sounds good. Now, I guess the Virginia one is just too close. I was thinking about that sometimes, when you get really close, like within 50 miles, then things don't happen because you're actually too close for the skywave to actually be of benefit, and so let me see now. I do well everywhere. I don't know what it is, but come back and let me hear you, see if I can hear you better on this one.
This one.
K2 LLC. The thing I forgot to mention on this particular is I am using a Shure SM58 microphone instead of the stock microphone. So at this point, that's pretty much the only different thing than would be with this radio normally. And so hopefully this is enough of a signal to give you an idea, and I look forward to, in a couple of days, tuning you in and seeing what I sound like up there, Jim. KC9VKV, K2 LLC.
Roger, Roger. Well, you know, that 58's a dynamic, so you might want to add just a little bit more top end than you would for, say, the condenser microphone, and because the dynamic just needs maybe, in my estimation, just a little assistance on the top end. Roger.
Roger.
Okay, here's just a little bit more assistance on the top end, Jim. Hopefully that it went, there's not a ton of controls on the 7410, but I did take the treble from a +2 to a +3.
Roger, sounds good, man. Sounds good. I'm launching a campaign trying to bring HF audio towards resembling UHF VHF. You know, them guys, boy, they have short-range communications, and they always sound like $1 million. And part of that reason is that a lot of those microphones on UHF and VHF today are electret condenser mics, and even electret condenser mics, in my estimation, tend to outperform a dynamic microphone element on the upper frequency ranges. On the top end, the articulation is a lot higher on condenser mics than on dynamic. Roger.
Roger.
Oh yeah, I agree with you. I have a friend of mine who actually was at Shure years ago when they were working on this microphone, and every once in a while he tells me to make an adjustment. So I made an adjustment, and I noticed he told me to set my bass on this microphone at a -2 and the treble at a +3, and somehow I had inadvertently got my treble back to a +2. So now I have it reset back to where he told me. So hopefully this will. I like the microphone. I think it has great sound. So, and it seems to be working pretty well. Jim, go ahead.
Roger, I just went over to local, and you are sounding really nice on local. The thing about SDRs is that, for whatever reason, I don't know, but they don't seem to be quite as broadband as I know they are, but they don't sound that way. And sometimes I've found SDRs to be 0.03, 0.06 off frequency. I don't know how that happens, but I'm sure we'll gain more knowledge about maybe the shortcomings of SDR receivers. Anyway, let me say threes, and I appreciate the shout, Roger.
Roger, Jim, thanks so much. By the way, your signal was anything from 20 over to solid S9. So thanks for taking my call this afternoon, and enjoy the rest of your afternoon with everyone checking in. KC9VKV, this is Kilo 2 Lima Charlie. 73 Blue Skies, Jim.
Roger, sir. Threes that away. Have a good afternoon and a good evening. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, and this is the afternoon Qso-Vlog program. If you've got a radio, you want to check the audio, give me a call. We are recording. This is KC9VKV.
Kilo Alpha Niner, Zulu Yankee Whiskey.
Zulu Yankee Whiskey. Come back with a call sign again.
Good afternoon, sir. Kilo Alpha Niner, Zulu Yankee Whiskey. Name here is Jim. Juliet India Mike. I'm located a little bit northwest of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Go ahead.
Oh, Roger. Sounding really good, sir. What radio are you running?
I'm running a R50D and a Yaesu MD100 microphone there. Go ahead.
Ah, Roger that. And gosh, sounds good. You're running about 100 watts?
Yes, sir. 100 watts through a homebrew G5RV. Go ahead.
Oh, Roger that. And what kind of SWR did you finally turn up with? Now, that's a multi-band antenna, Roger?
Yeah, it's a multi-band. It's a homebrew. It's the best of everything and the best of nothing there. Go ahead. But it's about a 1.5. Go ahead.
Oh, Roger. Not even enough to write home about. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. You're lucky. Sometimes, my luck, if I were to run a multi-band antenna, I would have difficulties on all bands, and then as I got one right, there would be 4 that would be wrong. Roger?
Yeah, what they say that it's good on one band and really lousy on other bands there. But I have a Hustler 5B TV vertical in the backyard too. But you sounded a little bit better here. Call sign again phonetically, please.
Stand by, sir. Frequency's in use. I'm sure you can't hear me, but the frequency is in use. Sir, the frequency is in use. Hello? Anyway, well, you're lucky. You know, the other thing about the antennas, multi-band antennas, is that you can stretch them out in different directions. You don't have to have them all parallel to each other in the same direction. And the good part about spreading them out is that you can work on one without affecting the others. Roger?
Roger. Roger that. Are you doing a recording of people there? Go ahead.
Oh, Roger, yes. We record live from 3:30 till 5 every Friday afternoon, like we're doing right now. And then we post it up on YouTube. If you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, that will take you to our Qso-Vlog page. And then you'll be looking for a segment called My Group Aircheck 2819. My Group Aircheck 2819. Roger?
Roger. Okay, so you're doing the recording now. There, go ahead.
Roger, yes, we have been since 3:30. That's what we do, Roger.
Roger. Yeah, okay. I was just wondering there. Well, you have a beautiful signal here in outside of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. There, you're a 5.9 plus 20, 5.9 plus 20. Go ahead.
Roger. Well, we try. We have a mantra, that my owner and I, about this station, that will be 20 over from Montreal to Miami and New York to New Mexico, and I have verified part of that through SDRs, Roger.
Roger. Okay, copy that. Where are you located about, please?
We're centrally located just across the Ohio River from Louisville, Kentucky, Roger.
Roger. Okay, copy that. All right, I think there's a lot of other people calling you there, a lot of other people want to talk to you there, so I really appreciate the information there. Like I said, the name here is Jim, Juliet, India Mike.
Roger. Well, we share that. Jim is also our name. So threes, have a good afternoon and good evening, and thanks for checking in. If you get a chance, join us next Friday, and we'll compare notes. This is KC9VKV.
KV. Victor Echo 3, X-ray Bravo Oscar.
X-ray Papa something, come back.
Victor Echo 3, X-ray Bravo Oscar.
Roger, what's the name there?
The name here is Bart Bravo Alpha Romeo Tango in Meaford, Ontario, 100 miles north of Toronto.
Wow, I don't even have to go to a Ontario SDR. Man, I'm copying you on the Milford, Pennsylvania SDR. Roger.
Roger. Oh, Roger. Well, you're a strong 5.9 here, and no problem hearing you.
Roger. What radio are you running, sir?
Running an ICOM 7100 with a stock microphone and a G5RV around 35 feet at the apex.
Roger that. And what microphone?
Microphone that comes with the radio. It's the MH198.
Roger, I just switched to my local antenna. And it's a little more fuller signal than on the SDRs. So I did want to give you a more accurate air check for part of it anyway, frequency response wise. Roger.
Oh, Roger. Yeah, I think I got it tuned now to the way I want it to sound.
Yes, it looks really good on the meter, man. You're doing about 2.5 dB dynamic range, somewhere around there. Probably running about 85% average peak modulation.
Okay, all right. I guess that's pretty good on this scope then.
Oh, Roger, yes, for anybody. Folks start out with unprocessed audio running about 30% peak average peak modulation. And then as you work with it, you can reduce the dynamic range. And when you get to about 3 dB or 2.5 dB of dynamic range, it's probably sounding about maybe twice as loud as where you were, maybe 2.5 times louder than what you started out with unprocessed audio, Roger.
Roger on that. I am running a little bit of compression. It's at 3 out of 10. I can turn it off and see if it's any different.
No, that's exactly what I recommend, is a 3 out of 10, and then check your ALC for mid-range operation to 2/3, Roger.
Roger, that's basically how it's done.
Sounds good. And the only thing left is the EQ, and then that depends on whether you, favor Qso kind of EQ or contest and DX, And what I have found that usually if you have a 3-band EQ, if you leave 1 KC flat, then go up to the top and crank in 2 or 3 clicks on the top end, and then it all gets down to the bottom end as to whether you want to Qso, you have it fuller on the bottom end, and if you want to CQDX and all that stuff, contest, you roll some of that bottom off. But you once you get that top end, you don't want to force a bunch of mid-range in there. The top end has all of the articulation. So by and large, if you're running probably about as wide as you can run, like 3 KC, 100 cycles to 3 KC or something like that, I would suggest that, and then with just a couple of clicks or 3 on the top end, and then get that bottom end to where you want to do Qso or contest. Roger.
Roger on that. I do have the wide, medium, and narrow bandwidth I can transmit on, and there's 3 settings that I can alternate between the 3. I could, on top of that, do the transmit EQ adjustment if I want a distant station to be heard. So I usually just went with the medium or narrow bandwidth when I transmit in the DX land.
Roger, well, the thing is, you're restricting the top end, and the top end is where all your articulation is. Think about when your marginal signal and your audio is right down there in the noise. If you've got a nice clean articulated top end, if folks can hear the words you're saying, even though you're not making it over the noise, you're exactly in with the noise, but you are more articulated in your audio, and they can actually hear what you're saying. Roger?
Oh, okay, so the legibility increases with the increase of articulation on the higher end. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, the broader you run your radio, the more top end you're going to get there. So I don't suggest running over 3, but I do suggest being all that you can be and running a 3. Roger.
Okay, I understand. Well, thank you very much for that information. I will tinker with it some more.
Roger. I think you'll find that that's true, and also in receive, that will help your receive also from the standpoint of being able to hear a little bit better in the top end, which is contributes so much to enunciation, particularly in marginal situations. Roger.
Roger. I think I have the receive dialed in. I'll be using a parametric EQ, a professional EQ with a really good mid-range speaker, which it's unbelievable how much more I can hear with it.
Oh, roger that. Well, the problem is they use a $2 speaker on a $10,000 radio.
Exactly. I think my speaker is worth more than the radio.
Roger. Well, the thing is to enjoy, and if hearing exactly the way you want to hear it adds to your enjoyment, there's no written law that you have to be any particular receive curve. This is enjoy time. Roger.
Roger. Well, thank you again for the info. I bet you have a lot of people lined up, so I don't want to tie up the frequency. So V3XBO, we'll be clear on listening.
Roger. What was the name there again, please?
It's Bart Bravo Alpha Romeo Tango.
That's right, Bart. My doodling got in the way of my the important stuff. Stop doodling. Gosh. Threes, Bart. We'll catch you later. Have a good afternoon and a good evening. And if you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you. This is KC9VKV, where we have a Qso-Vlog program, which is in effect right now. And we roll and record from 3:30 till 5 Eastern. And if you have a radio that you want to check out the audio, give us a shout. We're standing by. This is KC9VKV.
KV. Whiskey 2 Romeo.
Kilo Charlie 2 Hotel Zulu Yankee.
On radio.
Gosh, I picked the wrong time to start wandering through the SDRs. Let me try that again. Stations, this is KC9VKV, and I will stay on one.
Whiskey 2 Romeo Alpha Lima.
Whiskey 2 station, Romeo Alpha Lima. Go ahead.
Yeah, Jim, good afternoon. It's Whiskey 2 Romeo Alpha Lima. We're in upstate New York, about 100 miles north of New York City. Name is Ron, Romeo Oscar November. Go ahead.
Roger, Ron. I've got a Rochester repeater waiting in the wings. About how far are you from Rochester?
Oh, I'd say probably about 150 miles. About 150 miles, 200 miles directly east. You should be able to copy me directly. I've got a good... Go ahead.
Oh, you did. I just switched, went from Rochester, which was a great signal, to my local signal. Come back and let me hear you again.
Yeah, okay, very good. KC9VKV from Whiskey 2 Romeo Alpha Lima. I just got a frog in my throat accidentally. Go ahead, Jim.
Roger, yes, perfect there. You're about 12 dB above my residual noise level, Roger.
Yeah, very good. Well, we just put a new radio online last week and just getting some initial settings on it. My first radio with a menu system, so you'll have to be patient with me here a little bit, but just want to see how it sounds. Jim, go ahead.
Sounds good. What radio is that?
It's a new Kenwood 890.
Okay, and are you running compression or no?
No compression. The processor is off, but I am running EQ called High Boost 2 through one of the factory settings. There's about 5 or 6 different factory settings, and I'm picking this one. So it's EQ High Boost 2, but no processing. Jim, go ahead.
Roger, and your width, you're as wide as you can be?
100 to 3,000.
Great. Yeah, that's what I recommend. I don't see any sense in running, a compromised situation. I mean, you paid the bucks for the radio, so you might as well get the enjoyment out of it, Roger.
Yeah, very good. Okay, all right. Well, just wanted to make sure it sounded fairly decent. We are running the Yamaha CM500 electric mic on it right now. And but we do have 2 microphones. I also have an MC90 we can set up on it also, but this is what we're using right now. Jim, go ahead.
All righty. Let's see. And have you checked your ALC for mid-scale?
Yep, it's pretty much running right at exactly mid-scale.
All right. Now I would recommend a windscreen for that. That's a condenser mic?
It's electric condenser mic, right? And it does have a windscreen on it. I've heard people tell me maybe it might be popping a little bit. I might be running it just a tad close. I just backed it away from it a little bit. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. When you do that, you know, the only thing else is to take two windscreens, cut the top out of one, put it in the back of the other, and put the other one on top. So you're actually running through two windscreens, Roger. And you can do that with foam windscreens without any too much degradation. Well, no degradation below 3 or 4 kc for sure.
Okay, somebody else popped in there and covered you up there a little bit, Jim. But all right, I just wanted to pop in there. I guess it's doing okay. We won't hold it, and Like I said, I'm not running any processing at all, just the EQ. But thank you very much, Jim. KC9VKV, W2 Romeo Alpha Lima.
Roger, Roger. EQ sounds beautiful. You're running about 3 dB dynamic range, even without running, say, 3 out of 10 on the compressor, which is what I usually, recommend. But you're doing about 3 dB without it, so sally forth, beautiful. And thanks for checking in, Roger.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. We're running about 1,300 watts into a Mosley TA36, headed right in your direction, Jim. Thanks a lot.
Roger, Roger. Yeah, last night I was copying the mail on my SDR receiver. I use Half Moon Bay SDR out in San Francisco, and I was monitoring this frequency, and there was a guy named Mike. I've got his call sign, but I don't have it right now. But he is apparently into antenna manufacturing, and he was he was running a beam that had a 60-foot boom on it.
Well, that's longer than my house. I hope he can. That must be something to hold up. Anyway, a lot of people calling you, Jim. Thanks a lot, and we'll back out and appreciate the report. KC9VKV, W2RAO.
Roger, Roger. 3Z sir. Have a good afternoon and good evening, and if you get a chance, join us next Friday. This is KC9VKV in the Qso-Vlog program, where we record live from 3:30 till 5. And if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. This is KC9VKV.
November 3, Hotel Whiskey Hotel.
November 3, what was that?
November 3, Whiskey Hotel.
Roger, Roger. And what's the name there?
I go by the name Wes, Whiskey Echo Sugar, located in Collinsville, PA, about 25 miles northwest of Philadelphia.
Oh, Roger that. Roger that. Well, come back and tell me about what kind of antenna you're running there, Roger.
Okay. Center-fed dipole running approximately east-west, and the east side, the long side, the long side, about halfway, it starts to go northeast.
Roger that. That's because you have supports that go that way, or is that by design?
No, that's just basically the easiest way to run it on the property line.
Roger, Roger. And what how much SWR do you manage to escape with?
According to what I see on the computer, it's about the FT450D tuner sets at about a 1.
A 1?
That's what it seems to be like, yes, sir.
After your tuner, Roger?
Roger, Roger.
Roger, Roger. I thought I thought you were starting off with a 1. I was going to say, that's pretty good.
Yeah, no, I haven't done a good analyzation on the antenna as far as overall before the tuner, but the tuner seems to drop it down pretty decent. The FT450D with 100 watts, and we have the 650 microphone.
Roger, Roger. Well, I've been looking at your audio, and you have about a 3 dB or 2.5 dB dynamic range. So nice fat audio, and the EQ sounds good also, Roger.
Yeah, okay. We thank you very much for that report. I greatly appreciate it, and thanks for doing what you're doing. It's the first time I've heard you on there, and I'm glad I was able to get through. So, Jim, I'll say our 7-3, and thank you again for doing what you're doing, M3HWH.
And the name was Wes, is that a Roger?
Roger, Roger. The real name is Harry, Hotel Alpha Romeo Yankee.
Roger, Roger. Too much realism, Wes.
Copy there. Yeah, I think Harry's too full of personal opinion, Roger.
Roger. Well, let me say threes to you, sir. Thanks for checking in, and we'll be running next Friday. So if you get a chance, drop by and we'll compare notes. This is KC9VKV. The name is Jim here. We're located next to Louisville, Kentucky, just across the Ohio River from Louisville. And we have the Qso-Vlog program on this frequency from 3:30 till 5, where we record and then upload it to YouTube. And if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, that will take you to our Qso-Vlog page. And on that page, you'll be looking for today's Qso-Vlog, which will be entitled My Group Aircheck 2819. My Group Aircheck 2819. This is KC9VKV.
Form 4, November Yankee.
The November Yankee station, come back with your call sign slowly, phonetically.
With your call sign slowly, phonetically. Roger, Kilo, Uniform 4, November Yankee. Copy that?
Yes, sir, and the name?
Yes, sir, and the name? Yeah, the name is Tony, Tango Oscar, November Yankee. We're in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Whiskey 4, Papa, Oscar, Papa. Do you copy, sir?
Jim.
Stand by, the station. We're talking to Tony in KU4NY. Is that a Roger, Tony?
KU4NY. Is that a Roger, Tony? Yeah, that's a Roger, and we've got a very heavy QRM signal on us here, but I can pull you through, Jim. Go ahead.
Roger, Roger. Well, I'm pushing about as hard as I can push. I wish the SDR had a transmit mode, and I would just go that way. What's your location again?
Go that way. What's your location again? Yeah, location is Knoxville, Tennessee. Knoxville, Tennessee. That's the east part of the state, Jim. Go ahead.
Roger that. Roger that. Well, you're making a good trip. What radio are you running, sir?
What radio are you running, sir? Well, you faded out there, but I think you'll ask me about my setup here. I've got a Kenwood TS590S running through an Elecraft amplifier, doing about 450 watts to a... and I've got the compressor on, and I'm running about, 4 or 5 on the compression, and ALC is running about 1/2 to 2/3, Jim. Go ahead.
Roger, Roger. Well, that's that's about the max you can do there. That ALC tells the tale. You have to keep that ALC mid-scale to 2/3, and you run with that. The only other option would be to try to maybe compress just a tad more, but you get to the point where you start sucking up the refrigerator and the kids and the wife and the dogs and the cats and all that stuff. So there's a limit to compression that you can use, Roger.
Compression that you can use, Roger.
Well, I think we might have had some condition reversal there. Yeah, do you still copy?
Reversal there. Yeah, do you still copy?
Apparently not. Well, anyway, or maybe, it's you back to me. I'm not real sure, but let me say 3s, and you have a good afternoon, and maybe if conditions get better later on, give me another shout, and we'll see what's happening. This is KC9VKV and the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog page that we run between 3:30 and 5. If you've got a radio, you want to check out the audio, give me a call, KC9VKV.
Check out the audio, give me a call, KC9VKV. Whiskey 4.
Whiskey 4 station, Whiskey 4 station. This is KC9VKV.
Whiskey 4 station, Whiskey 4 station. This is KC9VKV.
Okay, let's try again. Whiskey 4, Papa, Oscar, Papa.
Okay, my SDR was dropping off there a little bit, but I got Whiskey 4 Papa Oscar Papa. Is that a Roger?
I got Whiskey 4 Papa Oscar Papa. Is that a Roger?
Yes, P-O-P.
Papa Oscar Papa. Roger?
Papa Oscar Papa. Roger?
You're better than S2, S3 now. Your signal fell out. Your signal's gone down. QS Baker. But my call is Whiskey 4. Whiskey 1, 2, 3, 4. Papa. Oscar. Papa. Like your daddy. Pop.
Roger, well, that's what I've been saying. Papa, Oscar, Papa. Oh, boy. But I also have a tremendous delay on this SDR. It must be about a 6 or 7 second delay on this SDR. I'm going to go back to my local antenna and see what's going on. This is KC9VKV. POP, come back and let me hear you on my local antenna.
Okay, how about now? This is my local antenna. Okay, how about now? This is John down in Nashville, Tennessee. The call letters are Whiskey 4. Papa, Oscar, Papa. Papa, Oscar, Papa.
Well, that's what I'm saying, sir. I've got your call sign. What's the name? Let's try that.
Saying, sir, I've got your call sign. What's the name? Let's try that. Okay, my name is John. John. Juliet, Oscar, Hotel, Nancy.
Roger that. Roger that. Latency is a problem with SDRs, I guess. They have a little processing going on there, and some have more latency than others. This particular one seems to be about 6 seconds, so I don't really know how it's all working, but I know I can hear myself for 5 or 6 seconds after I quit speaking, and then you seem to be responding right on cue, so hopefully things are working out, Roger.
Responding right on cue, so hopefully things are working out, Roger.
Or then again, maybe not. I didn't hear any response there from Papa, Oscar, Papa.
Any response there from Papa, Oscar, Papa.
John, are you still there, sir?
373, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir.
3.
Boy, oh boy, I don't know. John, I got lost, I guess, in the latency. I'm on my local antenna. Unfortunately, I couldn't copy you on my local antenna, so I had to try to use an SDR to hear what you were saying. And unfortunately, it had about a 6 second latency problem. So 3 is there, John. Maybe we'll pick up another day when conditions are better and I can hear you on my direct antenna. KC9VKV.
Victoria, Alpha 3 Echo Echo, DA3 Echo Echo.
Echo station, come back slowly with your call sign phonetically.
Very good, Jim. The call is Victor, Alpha 3 Echo Echo, over.
Victor, Alpha 3 Echo Echo, Roger. Okay, I'm in real time. I'm on my local antenna, Roger.
Hey, QSL, Jim, QSL. Name here is Don, Delta Oscar November. I do believe we might have talked once before, over.
Could have. Do you have any idea about how long ago?
No, I don't. I checked my log. I must not have logged it, but I do recall being on the YouTube or something like that once before with you. Over.
Roger. Now I'm trying my SDR again on another SDR receiver. It seems to have less latency. It's about a 2 second latency on this one, Roger. I have a better copy of you on this one.
QSL, Jim, QSL. Yeah, I'm up here in Windsor, Ontario. I ran across the water from Detroit, Michigan, over.
Roger. What kind of radio are you running there?
I'll run the old Kenwood TS950 Sierra Delta. Just 150 watts out of the radio and a wire antenna at about 15 feet, 15 feet, over.
Roger, sounds beautiful, and your dynamic range seems to be about 2 dB, so you're running about 80 some odd % average peak modulation, Roger.
QSL, yeah, I'm running just a Heil HM10 dual, over.
Roger, sounds good. I'd love to see you on a condenser microphone, but...
we can do, Jim, we can do.
Oh, Roger that. Well, it's just my preference, it just does on that top end, it really articulates over a dynamic usually, Roger.
Oh, for sure. Most definitely. But, okay, I do appreciate picking me up. I know there's a lot of guys calling you, but I want to jump in, say top of the day, and you have a very good weekend coming up. KC9VKV, ZA3 Echo Echo, Don in Windsor. 33, my friend.
Roger, down 3's that way, and if you go to YouTube in the next couple of days and look for an Aircheck called My Group Aircheck 2819. Go to YouTube, call it a search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, and then look for a QSO marked My Group Aircheck 2819. Roger?
QSL 2819, over.
Roger, 3's up that way. Stay warm. We'll catch you later, and enjoy the afternoon and the evening. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, and the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog program. If you've got a radio you want to check out, give us a call. We are recording.
Whiskey number?
Kilo Mike 4 Zulu November.
Zulu November station. Come back with a call sign phonetically, slowly.
Kilo Mike 4 Zulu November.
Roger, and the name?
The name is Melvin. Mike Echo Lima Victor India November.
Roger, Melvin, and whereabouts you be, sir? What's your location?
We are located in northwest Tennessee, near Martin, Tennessee, rural area.
Roger that. What radio are you running, sir?
ICOM 7300 to amp supply LK 500 Zulu Charlie.
Roger that. Well, tell me about your antenna, sir. Yeah, Melvin, tell me about your antenna, sir.
Okay, it's quite a bit of QSB. The antenna is a G5 RV Junior at about 30 feet from the ground. Coming straight out, fed horizontally, and of course the legs of the antenna are horizontal. It's a G5 RV Junior configuration.
Roger that. Well, it looks like you're running about a 3 dB dynamic range, so you got some really fat audio going there, and the EQ sounds like it's there also. So everything sounds good. Get the duct tape and the super glue and mark it, Roger.
QSL, we've been working on it for a while to get it as good as it could be. Just wish my antenna was up in the air. It's just not quite tall enough. But one of these days I'll planning on putting a tower up and at least 60 feet, and I think it'll help my ears for sure. I heard you calling, and thought we'd take an opportunity to get in here and see if we could make a recording, and I appreciate the comeback. I know there's a lot of people out here wishing to contact you, so I won't hold you, sir. Thank you for what you do here. So we'll look for that recording, as I've noted you were telling previous operators. So 73s, and it's good talking with you this afternoon. And thanks for the comeback. This is Kilo Mike 4 Zulu November.
Roger, Melvin. Well, on the height of the antenna, there's nothing that's moving ground wave. It's all sky wave reflected. So I'm saying that your height above average terrain is not necessarily that important. I think if you were at least 25 to 35 feet, I think things are pretty close to happening for you. And I think that if you went to 60 feet, you may not notice that much difference, because, like I say, everything is being reflected. So folks in valleys don't have much of a problem because they're, it's not like a UHF VHF where you have to have height to make right. HF, like I say, is all skywave reflected. So, I think you'll be doing probably about as well as can be expected, and you may not notice much difference if you get up 60, 90, or 100 feet. Roger.
Roger. Roger that. Well, we're learning. We're at the base of the learning cycle and working our way up there. Roger.
Roger. Now, I spent my first couple of years on 10 meters as a technician. And I developed 2 or 3 antennas specifically for 10 meters. One of the neat ones was a full wave loop antenna. It's a 36-foot loop on a PVC frame on the vertical side with a rotor underneath it. And it was only I still use it, but it's only like 10 feet off the ground to the rotor, and then the loop goes on up from there. And I was at the time working in California about every day with 20 and 25 overs from that loop. The neat part about it was that with the rotor, you could rotate the loop for maximum smoke. Although, in other frequencies, it becomes pretty much impractical on HF frequencies to be able to do that. But anyway, the other part I wanted to mention to you was that I never really took down an antenna once it was up. I'm lucky enough to have a 6-position rotary switch, and I would leave my first antenna, and then I built my second antenna, and it would be on the rotor. An amazing thing about a rotor is that you can check the capability of 6 antennas within about a second. I mean, you can just, rotor, you can just roll through them like that, and you can tell precisely what each antenna is doing. So, you've heard of the A-B test. Well, this is an A-B-C-D-E-F test, and you can see immediately that your new antenna is working much better, or even or not as good, with being able to, provided that you keep your old antenna after you have your new antenna built. Roger?
Roger. Roger that. Well, that's good to know. Appreciate the information there. Sure do. And we'll let you go, and I'm gonna get off the scope here, so we appreciate you come back, and you have a good afternoon. It's good talking with you. KM4ZN.
Roger, 3-set way, sir. Have a good afternoon and a good evening. This is KC9VKV and the Qso-Vlog program. If you've got a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. We are recording KC9VKV.
Kilo Delta 9 LTU.
LTU, come back with your call sign phonetically slowly, please.
Please.
Whiskey 4, Alpha Victor Tango, doing 1,400 watts.
Sir, I'm not sure where you went, but I think there's an Alpha Lima Tango in there.
Delta 9 Lima Tango uniform.
Okay, Lima Tango uniform. Let's go with you just for a minute, sir. What's the name there?
Hello, my name is Dennis. Delta Echo November India. Dennis. Delta Echo November India Sierra.
Roger, sir. I got you there. What kind of radio you running, sir?
Roger, sir. I got you there. What kind of radio you running, sir?
Yeah, conditions are kind of up and down. You kind of faded out on me here, but I just got this radio the other day, so I've only used it a couple times, and I'm not sure exactly how it's working here, but it's a Yaesu FT1000, the MP, the Mark V. Go ahead.
Roger, Roger. Oh, Roger, Roger. Just checking. I thought there for a minute having some problems. But anyway, I guess there's just changing conditions, Dennis, Roger.
But anyway, I guess there's just changing conditions, Dennis, Roger.
Okay, I'll just be on the side here. I know I'm having a hot here. Okay, I'm only running just a few watts here. Okay, we'll talk with you later, and thank you, 73s. This is Kilo Delta 9, Lima Tango Uniform.
Roger, Roger, Dennis. Well, I had a good signal on you, sir, but let me say 3s. And if you want to hear your signal, hear your station, if you go to YouTube within the next couple of days and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, that will take you to our Qso-Vlog page. And on that page, you'll be wanting to look for a session called My Group Aircheck 2819. My Group Aircheck 2819. 3's Dennis, we'll catch you later. It's KC9VKV.
Check 289. Dennis, we'll catch you later. It's KC9VKV. Number 5, Alpha Victor Tango.
There he is. Eric, what's going on, sir?
How are you doing, my friend? Yeah, and I pumped up my Kenwood up to about 1,400 watts out to see how it does at that power.
Well, gosh, as well as could be expected, maybe even better, Roger.
Yeah. And the thing is, I don't always do that, but it's just, I figured, most of the time I'm doing like 600, 700, 800 to a KW. Like this morning, when I talked to you, I was doing about a KW, but I figured, what the heck, I'll fire this up to higher end that it, is comfortable at doing, and try and make sure that I catch you in here before 4:30 to 5 p.m., and so I'm glad that I caught you.
Oh, Roger, Roger, and you're sounding beautiful. You're about 15 over my residual noise level, Roger.
That sounds okay.
I think this morning you might have been a little lighter than that, but right now, I set level for 0 on my VU meter, and then when you cease to speak, the meter falls down and begins to read my residual noise level, and it is 15 dB below your peaks, Roger.
Yeah, roger that. Well, I'm getting in here about 10 over S9 right now, so yeah, I've been I've been in here since you were talking to Melvin, and yeah, I mean, you're just coming in here very nicely, Jim.
Oh, roger that. Well, today is not necessarily one of those great days in the history of 40 meters. It's adequate, but it's not, Mother Nature is, she's taking a little siesta there, and kind of letting, she sometimes loses concentration on what she's supposed to be doing, and that is she's supposed to be conjuring up conditions to where you can take 1 watt and do a 30 over 700 miles away.
Oh, I know, absolutely. Well, I would love to say that the next sunspot cycle will do that for us. I really hope it will. But, a lot of people are, kind of like question mark about that, until it happens. Seeing is believing. So, I don't know. Hopefully the next sunspot cycle 25 will do something like that for us, and then, I'll have to retire my amplifier because I won't need it during those kind of conditions.
That's Roger, Eric. Well, do you have any idea how far down into the cycle? I know we're at the bottom of the cycle, I think. How many years do we have to go before things look better?
Well, I heard 2020. I heard someone say, actually, I've heard a couple people say between 2020 to 2021, somewhere around there.
Oh, that'd be great. because it's unfortunate. It's more unfortunate for those that are not running power. The guy that's just running 100 watts has really got his job cut out for him, because his signal at 300 to 400 miles away is probably just a dB or two above noise level. So that's the unfortunate thing. And I think 100-watt transceivers are the backbone of the hobby. So it's just unfortunate. That's why I'm trying to seek a way to help them by trying to get closer to their signal through remote control SDRs. If I can, but it's more challenging, because if you can easily get too close. If you get probably within 25 or 30 miles of somebody, you're not going to be able to copy them. So you need to be probably at least 50, 65 miles away, which, they're going to give you a better signal there probably than what you're going to get 300 or 400 miles away, Roger?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yep. Yeah, I know, and I agree with you. I mean, I know, not everyone out there has amplifiers like we do, but, but I'm telling you, like the guy that you were talking to with the 1000 MP Mark V, I mean, I don't know which one he had, but I'm not sure if he had the 100-watt version, the contest. It's called, it's called the Field. I think it's the FT1000 MP Mark V Field radio, which does 100 watts out. Then the Mark V, the other Mark V, which, like the one I have, can do up to 200 watts out. Though I never have it on that setting because I'm using the amplifier. But yeah, he sounded just fine. That gentleman that was talking with the 1000 MP Mark V, he sounded just fine. It depends when you're on the radio. It depends on what time of the day or evening you get in here, and it's just the way it is. I mean, that's just the way it works.
Roger. Well, we were starting our Qso-Vlog in the morning time there originally, from 10:30 till noon, I guess it was, and that's where the 100 watters were coming in at a couple of dB above a noise level. So we said, maybe in the afternoon we'll pick up a few more dB, and sure enough, when we moved to afternoons, it picked up probably a 4 or 5 dB signal strength, Roger.
Yeah, and I believe it. I believe that for sure. You just went up to about 1015 over S9 on that transmission, so that was a very nice transmission for you as far as signal. And but yeah, I can believe that would be the case. Yep. Yeah, I mean, the band's just getting started there in the morning, so by this time, I mean, this time of the day, things are a little bit better most of the time on a band like 40 meters, probably even 20 meters for that matter, but more so 40. But yeah, well, that's cool. Yeah, that was really something there this morning when you were telling me like what my signal was from different locations. That was pretty cool.
Roger. Well, you were sounding mighty good down in West Palm Beach, and you were sounding good up in Ontario. I think, yeah, copied you up there too. So that's the thing, boy. You are doing a really bang-up job, and it's just, I can see the signal strength, and I can see it, whether it's going to hang in there or not. You were just, I would think you were probably like about 10 over S9 in West Palm, Roger.
George, that's right. That is so neat, man. That is so neat. Well, I'll tell you what, my friend, I want to let some other people get in here and talk to you, and I love talking to you, as always. I love talking with you. If you're, if you're in there, I can't remember if you get in there during the weekend or not, but
But if not, I'll catch you maybe Monday morning. If you get in there Monday morning, give you a shout here on 7189 then. Roger?
Roger, usually we're just mainly on Friday afternoons from 3:30 till 5. We do some pop-up stuff every once in a while if we want to, check something, like we did a couple of pop-ups, checking out our tablet and the SDRs before we actually hit the air, just to be sure that the KW didn't fry the tablet, Roger.
Oh, I hear that.
But so let me say threes, Eric, and if you get a chance, drop by next Friday afternoon, man. We'd love to talk at you, Roger.
All right, man. You got it. Great talking to you again, and I'll listen for you, see if you're in there, like possibly in the mornings during next week, and just to check in and see if you happen to be on, and otherwise talk to you same time next week. 73s from Sterling, Virginia, my friend, and I'll check in a couple days there on YouTube. What did you say this was going to be titled? What did you say this vlog was going to be titled?
It's my group Aircheck 2819. My group Aircheck, today's date 2819. Roger.
All right, sounds good. All right, 73s, and hope you get some more people coming in here, man, to check in with their radio equipment and their audio and all that good stuff. 73s, buddy, have a good weekend. This is W4AVT clear with KC9VKV. See ya.
Roger, Eric. Yeah, conditions had just started to shift out, so just in time. Let me say threes to you, buddy. And like I said, we'll for sure be next Friday afternoon, 3:30 till 5 Eastern on this one. This is KC9VKV and the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog program. If you've got a radio you want to check out the audio, give us a shout. We are recording, and we'll post it later on YouTube, and you can go there and hear your transmission and other people's transmissions, and you can say, I like my audio better, or I like his audio better, I want my audio to sound like his audio. So it's a pretty interesting hour and a half. This is KC9VKV.
Kilo, Mike. Charlie 3, Kilo, Sierra, Charlie.
Charlie 3 station, come back with your call sign, please.
Roger, Kilo, Charlie 3, Kilo, Sierra, Charlie. Gary in Pennsylvania, a brand new little Yaesu. I just pulled out of the box and hooked up to the bench supply.
Well, that Yaesu is talking, Roger.
Oh, roger that. Thank you. It's a little FT857. It's a mobile unit. Thank you. Even 70 centimeter.
Roger that. Now, let's see. Tell me about your antenna real quick.
I'm running barefoot into a Alpha Delta multi-band. That's one of those fan dipole, wire dipoles at about 70, 75 feet in the air.
Roger that. It might, you're sounding fairly unprocessed at the moment. If you might want to kind of get a little fatter, if you went to your compressor and put it on about a 3 out of 10, if you put your compressor at about a 3 out of 10, that would be the beginning of starting a fattening process on your audio, Roger.
Yeah, Roger, I understand what you're saying. Unfortunately, like I said, I literally just took this out of the box, first contact on it, and I don't know, number one, if it has that function, and number two, how to access it. But I'll take a note that it could use a little compression. The gain's okay? There's enough drive?
Seems to be, but your average peak modulation is probably somewhere around 30%, and you want to probably take that on up to about average peak modulation to about 80%. So if you got a pad and pencil, I can give it to you real quick. If you move your compressor in and run about a 3 out of 10, about a third of the compression capabilities, then go to your ALC, and you want to run your ALC at mid-scale to 2/3. So you grab your mic volume control and you yank it up and put your ALC at half scale to 2/3. Roger?
Roger, I took a note, and as soon as I figure out if and how to do that with this, because there's no knobs on it, it's all buttons. and I haven't been through all the menus yet. I will try to correct that. I'm also on a bank supply that's it's probably putting out less than 13 volts right now when I got it loaded on. So it's not going to be the cleanest that way either.
Roger. And your microphone right now is very mid-rangey. Very mid-rangey. What kind of mic is that?
It's just a hand mic. It's the one that comes with the little radio. Like I said, it's just a mobile. It's not much of a radio. It's 100 watts. The thing's not much bigger than a library book.
Roger, Roger. Take more notes. If you have a 3-band EQ, put your mid equalization at flat. Mid equalization at flat, and then take that top end and crank it on to at least half of its possibilities. If it's 1 to 10, put it on a 5 or a 6 on the top end, because you really need some clearance to make up for the clear water, Roger.
Roger, I understand. It's like I said, it's a little cheesy little mic. I didn't expect too much out of the mic, to be honest with you. Hey, I really appreciate your feedback. Appreciate you coming back to me.
Roger that, sir. 3s, and you have a real good afternoon. Maybe check in next Friday, and we'll compare notes, see how things are going. And we're rapidly approaching turning into a pumpkin at 5 o'clock, so if you have a radio, you want to hear the audio, give me a shout. This is KC9VKV.
November 3, Yankee Uniform Golf.
Yankee Uniform Golf, go ahead.
Yeah, the call sign is November 3, Yankee Uniform Golf. Name here is Jason, and we're located in the southern part of Maryland here, about an hour and a half southeast of Washington, D.C.
Roger, Roger, Jason. I trust you have a good copy on me.
Yeah, I got a 5.9, and you're about plus 10 to plus 20.
Roger that. Well, we have a Cormer. We have a Cormer trying to test out his radio, but unfortunately, I don't think he has the wherewithal to be up for the challenge, Roger.
Yeah, there's been a couple in there that just weren't making it over the top, really. You're sounding great today. Working on a Flex 6300 here that we've had for a little while. Microphone's a PR40, and hopefully our EQ settings aren't too bad. You can maybe give us an idea if it needs any touch-ups or changes. And looking at the waterfall, your audio is just about 3.2K wide and just full all the way across. Beautiful signal.
Roger, thank you, sir. And on your audio, I always espouse a nice top end because, your transmission goes out and is reflected skywave back down to the receiver. But in addition to that, there are other reflections that come from a little higher position, and they also coincide at the receive point, and sometimes they have phase angle differences. And what that means is that they are slightly out of phase, and they cancel. And they start canceling at the top end of the audio spectrum and work their way down the more the two signals become balanced, as provided the phase angle stays 180 degrees out. So realizing that, I always anticipate needing a little more top end than what I would think, because I know that down the road my top end of the audio is going to be affected by phase angle differences. Roger?
Yeah, QSO. Yeah, that's very interesting. I never realized that. But it sounds great. Nice, very sharp edge on the low side next to the carrier, and great looking signal. Hopefully ours is looking and sounding good there on your end. M3YUG back to KC9VKV.
Roger, Roger. And your audio's nice. From what I can hear, it sounds just perfect. I wouldn't change a thing. It sounds like, I always, of course, espouse a little more top end, with the consideration of UHF, VHF signals in the audio from them versus HF. HF tends to, by and large, be rather rolled offish on the top end, not quite as articulated. And I'm saying even though there is a frequency characteristic difference in that our bandpass, audio bandpass, is somewhat more restricted than they enjoy on UHF, VHF, we still can conjure up some top end, some additional top end to help battle the intelligibility and the syllabic range, the S's, Roger?
Yeah, QSL, Jim. And, yeah, we got, with the Flex, we got a 2, 4, 6, 8 band EQ. 2 through 8K is pretty much topped out on this mic. 1K is sitting right at 5, and then we got the muddy end pretty much leveled out with a little bit of a drop off at the 250. That's what we got set up. It was seemed to get good here as long as we talk into the mic properly. I was kind of sideways there for a minute. And we'll let you guys see if you want to cram one more in. Thanks a lot for the report, and appreciate your work out there with Purchase Store, and good to jump in your phone and get to chat with KC9VKV and 3 my YouTube. So have a great day.
Roger. And what was the name one more time?
Yeah, the name here is Jason. Juliet Alpha Sierra Oscar November.
Roger, Jason. Thank you so very much, sir. If you get a chance, join us next Friday, and we'll compare notes and see how things are going. Right now, though, we'll say threes, and you have a good afternoon and a good evening, and we'll catch you later. This is KC9VKV and the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog program. If you've got a radio, you want to check out the audio, we've got about time for one more, so give me a shout now. Uniform Alpha Uniform. This is KC9VKV.
KC9VKV, this is Kilo Julia 4, Uniform Alpha Uniform. My name is Arthur, and my QTH is South Carolina, Sugar Charlie.
Roger, Arthur. Now, you might want to come up, I think, a full click. Come up, we're on exactly 7189, and if you went to 7189.01, I think you would be on frequency, Roger.
Well, I can't do that. 830 doesn't read that well. This is my dad's old radio, and it reads the last decimal place. But I'll try on your next transmission. I'll use the RIT and see if I can do any better.
Oh, Roger. Well, gosh, just I'm talking along here, and hopefully you can match my pitch. What pitch was that? Off pitch. KC9VKV.
All right, this is KJ4UAU. I really couldn't get it much better, so I was just sorry about that. This radio probably needs some shop time, but it works, and it's fun, and I like it.
Yeah, Roger that. Well, gosh, we are recording, so you can have the opportunity to hear it in action and decide whether it needs to go into the shop for just a little touch-up. It probably is the difference between your VFO and your how it talks to the receiver and the transmitter. There's not quite as tight as probably what it wants to be, and it looks to be at least 0.01 low, maybe even a little bit better than that. But anyway, you sound good, sir. You're full audio, and when we get the radio on frequency, we'll be doing great, Roger.
Well, Roger, I just realized that the RIT is not what I need to be messing with, but rather the X-side
frequencies in use, sir.
So I'll experiment with that just a little bit and see whether it sounds any better or not.
Well, I think I guess you would have to make me sound like Mickey Mouse. If you can make me sound like Mickey Mouse, you will be transmitting on the right frequency. So let me give you a little bit more here. Oh, I never wanted to sound like Mickey Mouse, but anyway, KC9VKV.
KC9VKV, this is KJ4UAU. You play Mickey Mouse so far, so what is it doing?
Gosh, I think you might have went the wrong way. You sound like Darth Vader. You are now like Darth Vader, Roger.
Well, I've heard that before. My voice is really deep, and I think that influences my transmitted audio sometimes.
Roger. Now we know where Darth Vader's voice came from.
Well, don't tell James Earl Jones, because I think he's got the copyright.
I think you've got him beat today. I think you're more Darth Vader than he, Roger.
All right, I'll take it.
All right, sir. What's the name there again, please?
He's my hero, so there you go. But I won't hold it. I'm looking forward to the YouTube transmission with a little bit of trepidation and a little bit of anticipation. Should be pretty cool.
Roger. What's the name one more time?
Arthur, like the king, just a lot younger.
King Arthur. Gotcha there. So if you want to hear what that sounds like, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, that will bring up the Qso-Vlog page, and on that page there'll be one that's entitled My Group Aircheck 2819. My Group Aircheck 2819. It'll probably be on page 1, but you know, you're talking about YouTube, so it could be on page 2. Anyway, Arthur, 3 is that away, sir, and we'll catch you later. Join us next Friday if you get a chance. This is KC9VKV, and that will conclude our Qso-Vlog program for this Friday afternoon. We've enjoyed it, and thanks to all who participated, and hopefully the Creeks Don't Rise will be doing it again next Friday. And between now and then, if you want to, it'll take us a couple of days to get this uploaded, but in a couple of days, if you want to go to YouTube and do the call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, that will take you to our Qso-Vlog page, and then look for My Group Aircheck 2819. Today's date, 2819. 3's all. Catch you later. This is KC9VKV, Claire.